So the alveolar fricatives, yeah, omnipresent in any Germanic language. Okay, alveolar because you put your tongue tip exactly the same place where you would produce t or d. Okay, and just don't close. So it's not t, it's s. Okay, not d, it's z. All right. Okay. Let's have a look at them. There you go. Usually when there is an S spelling in the beginning words, in English it is voiceless. Okay, so cell, sun, which is both, yeah, sun like daughter and sun like moon. Okay, sink, all right, sea, same, and so on and so on. Yeah, thousands, hundreds of thousands of examples, probably that. There's one big difference between English and German. In standard German, it's just the other way around. When you have an S spelling in the beginning of a word, it's voiced. Okay, that's a big difference. So sun would be Sohn in English, and sun, the planet, would be Sonne. Okay, so be aware of this difference. All right, but usually it's not a problem. It's voiceless in English, except when it is spelled with a Z, of course. When there is a Z spelling, it's voice. Not very many words there, not many words. So zeal and zone or zone, okay, hazy, recognize, and so on and so on. Okay, in the beginning of words, it doesn't occur very often. Well, yeah, in the middle of words, it does. Okay, as in words like recognize, yeah, realize, something like that. So Z is voiced. Okay. But as far as S spelling is concerned, in the middle of words and at the end of words, it's mostly unpredictable. And sometimes you just have to know, okay? Look at these instances here. Lose, which is the verb, and it's loose, okay? Yeah, voiceless, okay? It's loose, but I lose this game or something like that. You have to know, okay, you here, I can't give you any rule, and there are quite a number of words like that. House, case in point, it looks as if it were house because there is an E at the end. No, it's voiceless, house, but the confusion is in the plural, okay, it becomes voiced, houses, okay. We come back to that in due time when we talk about the S morpheme, which I don't want to do here. Yeah, the S morpheme, the derivational morpheme. So in the second, in the third person, of course. Yeah, in the third person he goes, something like that. Okay, and in the genitive and in the plural. We come to that. I don't want to talk about that now, but there are rules for that. Okay. But there is an important rule I can give you right now. It's C is a very elusive letter. Okay, C is used as a plosive in a word like case, for example. Yeah, but very often as for a fricative. Okay, and then it is always voiceless. Okay, and that's the rule. I mean, please do memorize that. Yeah, it's ice and it's peace. And it's face, and it's Joyce, okay? When you have a C spelling representing an alveolar fricative, it is the voiceless variety. Ice, peace, face, Joyce, voiceless, okay? C spelling, alarm clocks. When there is a C spelling, that's always true. So do remember that. Okay. Another thing is there is this awful SS spelling, okay, double S, and double S looks so very much as like a voiceless fricative. I think in German this is mostly the case, for example. I mean, always, okay, but not in English though. Yeah, so a word like dissect, yes, all right, okay, yeah, voiceless, but then you have dissolve, or American English, dissolve. Okay, here we go. Yeah, double S spelling, still voiced. Oh, okay. Or you have possible, voiceless, double S spelling, makes perfect sense. But then you have something like possess. Okay, possess, which is voiced. Okay. All I want to say is you can't rely very much on spelling as far as the alveolar fricative is concerned, except when there is a Z, it's voiced. When there is a C, it's voiceless. But when there is any kind of S spelling, okay, a double S or something like that, you can't, okay, except for the derivational morpheme, which I will come to later. Okay, weekdays. I just wanted to mention that here. Weekdays, because I had it in the last exam. I wrote. I had my students right. Everybody got that wrong. So Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, Thursday, voiced. Okay, voiced. Just wanted to mention that because this provided problems. Okay, but yeah. Do remember that. Okay, all right. The palatal fricatives, we come to the next thing. Yeah, the palatal fricative, please call them palatal. I don't like this palatal alveolar. I mean, no, it's palatal. For us, it's the palatal fricative. You just put, that's sh and zh. Yeah? Put your tongue sh a bit further back than for the alveolar s, and then put it back sh, okay, and zh. Okay, these two, the palatal fricatives. Usually, let's start with the voiceless variety. Okay, usually it's spelled with a ch. Okay, that's standard. You know, shine, show, fashion, cushion, what have you. Okay, so ch spelling, no problem. There are words, of course, of French origin, and that's the important thing, ending in ion. Okay, usually having ion, and they have this fricative too. Notion, okay, nation, motion, and so on. Okay, yes, there it is. So French words, okay, French words, all French. Okay, one word I would like to mention is sure. Okay, it's an awful word. Sure. Well, why s? Why s? Why no sh? Because it was sûr, sure. I mean, this is. So the phonological development during the last 1,000 years, yeah, sûr, sure, but never mind. It's French. It behaves in a different fashion. Bien sûr. Here we go. Okay. The voiced palatal fricative, j. Okay. Again, words of French origin. It's not a native sound of Germanic languages very much. Okay. It's a sound, I mean, which comes via the French influence, okay, in loan words, which then become lexicalized and so on. Measure, okay, or measure, American English, measure, okay, je, pleasure, je, yeah, illusion. Well, I would say illusion, but you can say illusion, okay, illusion, confusion. Casual. I would say casual, by the way, but casual is fine. Yeah, casual is a bit too upper class, probably. Yeah, casual, very fine. There you see. I mean, it's usually in these words, of French origin, which were originally speaking u and then you and then je. Okay, you could explain that, but. Never mind, but beware, and that's an important information here. The voice palatal fricatives, they do not occur in German, okay? It's not part of the German sound inventory. Yes, we have genre, but it's a foreign word, okay? Not in native German words. And therefore, Germans tend to substitute it with a voiceless variety. So would say something like measure and pleasure for measure and pleasure, okay? Don't make this mistake. So, je. Okay. All right. The affricate. We have to come to the affricate as well. The affricate, it's a sound, and it's a single phoneme, okay, which starts with a plosive and then ends in the fricative, yeah? In English, there's only one in voiced and voiceless variety. It's ch and j, okay? Standard German, for example, knows another fricative, pf, okay, which doesn't occur in English. So, no, in English there's only the affricate in the voiced and voiceless varieties. Okay, so ch and j. Here we go. Palato-alveolar, I would call them palatal, whatever. Yeah, the affricates. Okay, the affricates. Affricates means it's a fricative which is has a plosive to go with it. Okay. Here's a definition of ch and ch. The consonants ch and j are formed by a closure made between the tip and the rims of the tongue and the upper alveolar ridge and side teeth. The closure is released slowly with a fricative release stage. This is what Dressker said in 1998. Understand that? I don't get it. Okay, so... Oh, bloody hell. I mean, sometimes it's so complicated. I don't understand a word what he is saying. Okay, all there is, it's a t, and then you don't have a t. Usually you have an aspiration. No, you don't. You don't open your tongue. You just leave it mostly where it is and have a fricative to go with it. Okay, same with the d. Just be sloppy and don't make it. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow, how complicated can you be at times? Okay, usually spelled with a CH, chair and check and match, no problem at all. Yeah, catch and a match, much, that was before much. TCH spelling exists as well, no problem. Then you have the bloody French again, I mean, coming in, to, okay, nature, fortune, okay. Virtue or virtue, feature, okay. Again, it's the French U, which then was tu, and then became chu, yeah. Nature, nature, something like that. You can, of course, explain it. You don't have to know that, okay. But in these words of French origin, yeah, okay, you have it. The voiced affricate, okay, j, usually spelled with a J, okay, in words like jam and join and enjoy and joke and reject or something like that, okay, J spelling, all with a G-E, yeah, gentle, jam, germ. We're Corona times right now, yeah, germ, makes perfect sense. German, okay, German, all right. Garage, okay. Change, there you have both, okay, voiceless and voiced. Change, okay. A sponge, okay, yes. G-H spelling. There is a general confusion among non-native speakers. I wanted to mention that mayor and major, or mayor, English, mayor, American English, major. Okay, please keep them distinct, yeah. Boris Johnson was the mayor of London once, okay. But he is a major, any four-letter word you would like to go with that, yeah. He is a major, ha ha ha, all right. Here we go. Note, important thing, yeah. The confusion, of course, is that J spelling is the voiced affricate, usually jazz, yeah, some of this, and a Y spelling is the Y. You see the problem here, yeah? So yes, spelled with a Y, or a year, or something like that, yeah? So Y spelling is Y, and Y spelling is J. This is the confusion, okay? This is the confusion you have to be aware of. This confusion is particularly awful when Germans, which they tend to do, give their children Anglo-Saxon names which they can't pronounce, okay? Because no German can do this. They usually say about themselves, I'm German, okay? Some of this. So many girls, I mean, called Jennifer these days, in Germany, or Jill, or something like that. Oh, well, nobody can pronounce it. Everybody says Jennifer, some of this, or chill, the Jennifer. Okay, oh, that's so awful, please. I mean, how can you give your children names with a voiced affricate which nobody can pronounce? Okay, it's so awful. Don't do it. Don't ever. Or if you do, I mean, try to educate people how to pronounce them. Okay, here we go. This was the Voice of Voices Africa. We'll be back with an